All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to get into Drake May and talk about, his excitement for the upcoming season with the new coaching staff. And yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to in New England now. And I didn't like how they handled the Gerard Mayo situation. I think he was wronged in how they handled all that. But I think Mike Vrabel is a better coach. And, now they also brought back Josh McDaniels to be the offensive coordinator. And I think Josh McDaniels is going to do a nice job working with Drake May. I think Drake May is going to have a good year. Now, the Patriots, they're going to need to, surround Drake May with more talent. That's the biggest thing. Get more playmakers on this side of the ball. Also, I think one of the things they have to do is maybe draft an offensive lineman. I mean, they're going to do that anyways, but I'm curious to see what they end up doing with their first pick. They could trade down. I could see that. Or maybe they do take, a Tataroa McMillan. I mean, Travis Hunter might not be there, so maybe you take McMillan. They could do that. But if they do that, I think maybe you take an offensive lineman with, your second round pick or your third round pick, whatever you decide to do. Or you bring in an offensive lineman. You sign an offensive lineman. But, yeah, no, so they bring back Josh McDaniels. And, look, I know some people have their complaints about Josh McDaniels, but Josh McDaniels led Mac Jones to a Pro Bowl. The Patriots made the playoffs in Mac Jones' rookie season. And then after Josh McDaniels left to go coach the Raiders, then Belichick brought back Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to be co-offensive coordinators. I didn't understand that. That didn't make sense to me. And then they brought Bill O'Brien in the following year, and that just didn't really pan out either. So I think Josh McDaniels, like I said, is going to help out. Drake May, and I wanted to bring up what Drake May had to say as well recently at the Pro Bowl. So he said regarding Mike Vrabel, he said, he reached out to me and we got on the phone. Obviously, a guy who's done it and played in the league and won a Super Bowl, you have to respect what he's done and seeing what he's done. I think the biggest thing is he's been a head coach and he knows what it's like. So excited to get up to New England and get things going. And I wanted to see if there are any more quotes on that. He also talked about Josh McDaniels. Coach McDaniels, obviously, what he's done there and the success he's had. Fortunate to be able to have a guy come in who's done it at a high level and learn from him coaching one of the best ever, and the best ever, in my opinion, meaning Tom Brady. Got a chance to go back in all those years of film you have in a little database. It's all their play calls and all Coach McDaniels' stuff and what he did with Tom. It's fortunate for me to go back and study it up and get ready for this next season. And looking at the Patriots' offensive rankings, because I wanted to, bring up just how poor their offense was. So they were towards the bottom in a lot of categories. So offensive yards, they averaged 291.9, which is 31st. Passing offense, they were towards the bottom. They were dead last. They averaged 176.2 passing yards. Not great. Not great. And then rushing offense, they were at least a little bit further up. They averaged about, where was it here? Where are the Patriots? I don't even see them. I'm looking. They were a little bit further up, though. Oh, yeah, they were actually behind the 49ers. They averaged 115.8. So, kind of middle of the pack. Scoring offense, only the Giants and the Browns averaged less points than the Patriots. They averaged 17 points per game. Not good. Not good. Red zone offense, actually the red zone offense, no, the red zone offense was not great. They were 30th. The Cowboys actually were 31st, and the Giants were 32nd. That's interesting. But yeah, offensive categories, not great. Not great across the board. 29th on third down offense. They're looking to improve all that. Now, part of that is going to be coaching, and part of that is going to be how are you going to fix this offense in terms of adding more personnel. Now, I wanted to look up how much cap space the Patriots have, because that could kind of determine how much spending they do. So the Patriots actually they have the most cap space in the NFL for the 2025 season. Estimates ranging from 120 to 131 million. According to Spot Track, the Patriots cap space for 2025 is 131 million. According to Over the Cap, the Patriots cap space for 2025 is 126 million. According to PFF, the Patriots cap space is for 2025 is 120 million. So, needless to say, they have a lot of cap space. So they could definitely go out and bring in some reinforcements to this offense for Drake Maye. So, like I said before, you got to like the direction that the Patriots are going in. Now, it's going to take some time. I definitely think they will win more games than they did this past season because of now the coaching that they brought in. But also, like I said, the cap space. They could maybe have, maybe this is too bit of a stretch, but maybe they go and maybe not win the exact many games, but maybe you have kind of a Commanders turnaround. I mean, you already have the quarterback, and I think there's still good players on this defense. I think that it needs some revamping, but you want to get this offense going again because this offense has been pretty lackluster. Even when Belichick was still there, even the last couple of years that Belichick was still the head coach, the offense wasn't great. So I think that's the biggest thing, and you go from there. And I think you have a head coach now in place with the experience. He's been a good head coach in this league. They're going to figure things out. But, you do play in a division with Buffalo, and, you figure the Dolphins are going to have a better year if Tua stays healthy. I don't know what to expect out of the Jets. We have to find out if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back first, and then we go from there. But, they got a first-time head coach. But yeah, I think if you're a Patriots fan, you got to be excited. There's going to be excitement injected back into this fan base. Now, I know people kind of roll their eyes at that and say, well, they kind of deserve this because, of all the success that they've had over the years, they deserved, some down years. And absolutely, it was going to happen at some point. It's going to happen to the Chiefs one day. Everybody goes through this, but you know what? You got to get back up. And the Patriots, I think, are heading in that direction. They got a lot of cap space. You could go out and add a couple of weapons. I mean, if they go and they draft McMillan, like I said, and you go out and you get one of these receivers, maybe they trade for Cooper Kupp. You get Cooper Kupp, you get McMillan, all of a sudden, hey, got a couple of weapons. Hunter Henry's not a bad tight end that they have. Ramondre Stevenson, they gave him all that money last offseason. Maybe they go and they draft a running back. They could do that. To kind of, be a reinforcement for Ramondre Stevenson. I know they also have Antonio Gibson as well, but, they could do that. I think the biggest needs for the Patriots, it's offensive line and it's receivers. I think if you do that, this is going to be a decent offense. They're not going to be bottom three in all these categories. Running the football, they weren't. But they got to have success through the air. And Drake Maye's going into his second year. And I think stability is going to be key too, because I don't think Josh McDaniels, if he has a good year with Drake Maye, he's going to go and get another head coaching job. I think those days could be over for him. But this is his role. He's a good coordinator. And I think, there's going to be some complaints with him, but I think he's a good enough coordinator where he's going to get a lot out of Drake Maye. And if they surround him with more talent, he's going to be successful. So that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think. What kind of season do you think Drake Maye is going to have? Let me know in the comments. And with that, that is pretty much it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. The NFL Honors is tomorrow night. So I did make my predictions on how I think things are going to go. We'll find out who wins MVP and all the other awards. And also we'll find out who makes the Hall of Fame. We'll talk about that. I'll have reactions about it on Friday as well. But that's a big thing that's coming up. tomorrow night before we get into the Super Bowl, of course. But yeah, only a couple more days. Friday, there'll be a lot of reactions to the NFL honors, but also I will preview the Super Bowl as well, even though that's kind of all we've been doing this week. But I'll get into how I think the game's going to play out, who I think is going to win, but you guys kind of already know that. But obviously, we're going to preview it. Football Friday, the last Football Friday of the year. Tomorrow, I think I guess maybe we'll do a preview of the NFL honors, my predictions, things like that. And then that'll pretty much be it for the week. Reacting to the NFL honors and previewing the Super Bowl. And then next week it's up in the air. So if there's any topics you want me to touch upon, it's going to be a lot of reactions from the season. We'll take a look at how I had everything playing out this year, how my standings predictions were, and compare them to how they actually played out. We'll do overviews for the seasons, State of the Unions for each individual team, what their needs are and things like that going into the off season. Because we're a month away from the new league year, I think. Yeah, so obviously once that happens, then free agency opens up, and then teams will start making moves, and maybe there's a Cooper Kupp trade on the horizon in the coming days and weeks. We said that yesterday. So there'll still be things to talk about, but if there's anything you guys want me to touch upon, let me know in the comments. So yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows. And until next time, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.